There are so many things that are common today that used to be very rare. A few decades ago, not everybody had cell phones. A few decades before that, and computers were kind of a novelty, rocking their 40 megabytes of RAM. And it's only been in the last 2 years that drones have given regular people the ability to shoot video from high above. But back in the day, pictures from on high could only be attained with a photographer in a plane. Pictures of the world from a bird's eye view are captivating. There's something both magical and calming about them. And then I wonder, how did somebody figure out how to do this?
The earliest surviving aerial photographs were actually the first taken in America. And the most successful and well-known of these was taken from a balloon tethered above the city of Boston in 1860.
To learn more about the development of aerial photography and its historical impact on the world, I met with the Henry Ford Museum's Associate Curator, Saige Jedele. What were some of the earliest attempts to get a camera up in the air?
People were trying everything from hot air balloons and rockets, kites, even pigeons to carry cameras.
Pigeons?
Pigeons. That's obviously not the way things ended up going, but somebody did find a way to be successful at it.
What kind of a camera?
Very small. As flying machines became more advanced, flying higher and faster, people were developing smaller cameras, but also cameras that could take larger images in more detail.
Was this just a human impulse, or did somebody have to sort of say, hey, we should do aerial photography?
There's always been popular demand for aerial photography. These are images that are really easy to place yourself in, and people just love to see what things look like from the sky.
I am transfixed by aerial photography, especially views from outer space. Something almost spiritual happens when you see it.
Absolutely. That aerial perspective can change so much. It can change your political thinking. It can shape your regional identity.
What are some of the great early iconic aerial photographs?
One of the most important and earliest examples of aerial photography used to record the news were taken in 1906 above San Francisco after the earthquake and fire there. The photographer devised a series of kites that suspended a panoramic camera above the city. The images he created were snapped up by newspapers and distributed around the country. They became very famous.
Is this a big step in aerial photography because it's now news? It's something people really want to see, not for pleasure, but out of concern.
It is one important practical use. It's really impossible to overstate the impact of aerial photography on military operation. That ability to fly behind enemy lines, spy on troops and equipment, it changed everything. And so much of the technological development in aerial photography was either quickly adopted by or expressly developed for military use, including drones.
What about people trying to hide a bald spot?
That's a great question. It's interesting.
Just out of luck.